And on 45 Gulf, inbound to get onto the South Loop, we have an exit ramp wreck. It is an overturned vehicle on the left side of the ramp.
Oh, yours have?
Yeah, I mean,
oh, nice. Yeah.
It's like it's
Yeah.
So that's 45 inbound.
They're a little bit lighter.
South Loop west.
All right, so I'm going to share our Facebook on.
Getting pulled over for buzzed driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
At Lucia Capital Group, we believe there are 3 critical steps that should precede making any investment decision: education, advice, and planning. Education. Learn about available options and expand your understanding of investment products. Advice. Get guidance from experienced financial planning professionals who you feel understand your specific needs.
Do what?
Planning.
That's so cool.
Consistently support your investment decisions. Where can you go for financial guidance?
Show your
website
and your phone number right there.
I love that.
WealthEd.com features live and on-demand video.
I wish I could say I could take credit for it, but it's why we hired Tens and what they do.
Well, exactly.
Yay, Andy. Or when we had the money conversation.
Oh, look at
that. Yeah.
Plan that integrates your investments. WealthEd.com.
You know, so if I wore a green shirt, would it disappear?
Yes, it would. You'd be a floating head.
That's freaking awesome. I got to remember that next time.
Yeah, in fact, Jason did that not too long. In fact, it was last Wednesday when we were in the studio together, and he purposely wore a green shirt very similar to that, and he was like this floating head, and just kind of kept moving his head around.
Or get the CGI. Now, have you finished watching Game of Thrones?
No, I never really got into that.
Okay.
It's so good.
I believe you. I'll take your word for it.
It's addicting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, we've got so much going on right now.
By
the time I get home, I'm just.
Oh my God.
Yeah, occasionally I'll turn on a sporting event, and that's about it. You know, I mean, I don't know that I've seen a Texans game start to finish this year.
Is it because of protests?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Just I just don't really care. I mean.
Right. Yeah, I haven't watched full Texas game either.
Yeah, you know, I got into the Astros maybe a couple of weeks before they, into the season. I mean, I've watched a Rockets game just to kind of see. They seem to be pretty good.
Represent the views or opinions of the staff, management, or ownership of this station.
It's time to get on the right path with Right Path
Morning, Daniel.
Radio with Tom Perry. Get the answer to your question that's keeping you from taking action and succeeding today.
I need a haircut.
It's Thanksgiving time. Perfect time to do it.
Right.
Get ready. The guy that will put your fears behind you is on the air now. Taking calls at 713-785-1817. Toll free 877-881-0271. Now here's your host, Tom Perry.
Hot mics.
Hey, welcome to the show. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817, 713-785-1817. You can put your fear of real estate investing behind you. Get your questions answered. Put your fear of calling behind you. So I'm joined live in the studio with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Ashley Patten, Patten Law Firm. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, it's always, I love all the topics that we get into. We get into all kinds of crazy title questions. I was at our weekend retreat this past weekend and, have a situation where we're looking to buy a property, but the son that has inherited the property lives in North Carolina, and his dad got married like 90 days before he passed away from Lou Gehrig's.
Wow.
Yeah, he got ALS, met some lady. They got married. Now she's living in the property, life estate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she gets to live there rent-free for as long as she's alive. Now, Dad apparently was in his 70s. This young lady in her 40s. So she might live a while. So to me, it's like, oh, my gosh, we can buy this, from the son, but can't do squat with it for a period of time.
Right.
But then an attorney I was talking to this past weekend, he said there's some kind of subrogation rules. If she's not paying the taxes, you could actually buy the tax lien from the county and then, but you know, it was a little bit sketchy. Do you know about those rules?
Well, here's the deal. I mean, it's a surviving spouse. Texas, they have what's known as a surviving spouse homestead rights.
Yes.
Now, what that is that's paramount to the survivor rights.
Right.
So, in other words, the survivors, the heirs, the rightful owners of the property.
Right.
I mean, they inherit the property subject to her homestead rights. As long as she remains in the property, it's almost like it's hers.
And it seems like the definition of remains in the property is pretty loose. In other words, if she just vacates the property for even like 60, 90 days, she wants to come back to it, she really technically hasn't vacated the property, right?
She's got a year.
Okay,
so she can be gone for a year as long as the key is in homestead is presence and intent. That's the definition of homestead, legal definition. Where do you reside? Where do you intend to reside? Now, intent's an objection, right?
Right.
It's objective. I mean, it's just like, hey, I really intended that, but you did something totally different. So it's just a manifestation of intent.
So something that was brought up was equitable subrogation. Maybe you can explain that one to me.
Well, you have equitable subrogation. Anytime you do something on behalf of somebody, you're subrogated to their rights. So, for instance, if you pay someone's mortgage through equitable subordination, you actually have the rights of the former lender. And so now, when you lend money for taxes, you've got to have a license to lend money in taxes.
Right.
Otherwise, you're not going to be subrogated to the rights of the state.
You've got to have an NMLO, right? A National Mortgage Loan Origination, and not just an NMLO, but once you're an NMLO, then you have to have the license with the state and the county, right?
That's right.
That's an extra step. As I understand, that second hurdle is not that big of a deal. The first hurdle is a pretty big deal. Now, I know of some other groups in town that are teaching making tax lien loans and all that, because that used to be a pretty popular method to take over properties. But, you know, and that it's my understanding that the rules have changed in the last 2 or 3 years. Is that right?
They're pretty much still the same in Texas, though.
Okay. So how can I lend money? Can I do tax lien loans and not get in trouble on making those loans?
Not in Texas.
Not in Texas.
Yeah.
Now, how long has it been that way?
Well, actually, Texas law changed about 4.5 years ago.
Okay.
So all the big tax groups came in and basically they squashed the market.
That's what I hear. Well, I heard that like 3/4 of all the companies out there are really owned by the same group of guys, all owned by like Red McCombs out of San Antonio.
It's incestuous.
Yeah, that you know, the guy that owns all the car dealerships used to own the Minnesota Vikings, used to own the San Antonio Spurs. That guy, he basically dominates the market in Texas, kind of behind the scenes. Nobody really knows that. So. And so, yeah, they got in there and they wanted to, you know, help the little guy, I'm sure, being the lendee. And basically what they did is they squashed all the competition, right?
They squashed it all out. And so it's but, you know, getting back to your original question about as far as, you know, using the taxes to squeeze out the homestead interest. Now, the way they do taxes now is they have an auction.
Right.
You know, the first Tuesday of the month, they auction off the taxes to the highest bidder.
Right.
So if
that's the constable sale for taxes,
that's
right?
Constable
Trustee sale for mortgages.
Right.
Right.
And they offer the highest bidder. So if $10,000 of taxes are owed, you know, somebody might bid in 15, 20, 25, 30,000. So that may not be the smartest way to get rid of a homestead rights because you're bidding against everybody else.
Right.
And who's to say that you're able to get that?
Yeah. Yeah, who knows that you would or not.
Right. And then once you do receive it, they still have redemption in Texas.
Right. Now, explain redemption. So, like, let's say somebody owes $10,000 in back taxes, and it goes to auction, and somebody gets $15,000. But the person that lost the property, they want to redeem it. They've got to pay...
They got to pay 25% on the $10,000.
Okay.
And plus... You know, obviously, that $5,000 that's surplus, that goes to the registry of the court.
Yeah.
And so homeowners all the time.
So does the person that bought it at auction for $15,000, does he get $10,000 plus 25%, or does he get $15,000 plus 25%?
Well, he gets his $15,000 back.
And then he gets 25% on the
$10,000. Plus, he's able to make... you know, he's able to get back any cost he had to spend. So, in other words, if he spends a certain amount of reasonable dollars, if he spends a certain amount of money fixing the place up or starting everything ready, he can get all that money back because it's improvements to the property. And so,
I thought that was the risk that he takes, Because it's my understanding that most of the people that get redeemed, if you will, that if they've put the money in for that 6 month period, within that 6 month window, that's the risk they take, that they don't get compensated for that.
No,
that'd be a big lawsuit.
They get that back.
Okay.
I mean, so inevitably it's the now they may have to fight for it,
Yeah.
but inevitably they can get that back, and they just may have to sue for it. But statute, it's available.
Yeah.
And so
We've got into some really technical. So let's get back to bread and butter. If I'm a brand new investor and I want to get started in real estate, you see a lot of new investors get started
all the time.
What do you see as the best way for a new investor to get started?
Find somebody who you can trust to shadow. I mean, we talk about shadowing all the time. Like, I mean, y'all run a tremendous program. I mean, you train a lot of people. I mean, I would definitely, I mean, this is a plug for y'all, but it's just like I would definitely find somebody like the Right Path. And number one,
Or just find Right Path.
That's just find Right Path.
If you're listening
Exactly.
to this show, you found us.
Exactly. Right? So it's just but that's the best thing in the world, because there are 1,000 mistakes that people make. And so why make your own 1,000 mistakes? Why don't you learn from somebody?
Yeah.
To where there's a price to pay in everything you do.
Absolutely.
But the problem is most investors, they get one shot at the apple, one bite at the apple.
Right.
And if their first bite turns out sour,
yeah,
they will never be able to become, an investor. Which, to me, if I died and come back, that's what I'd want to be. I'd want to be an investor.
It's interesting what you said. I want to piggyback on that. One thing is, I think a lot of investors, they can calculate their potential return on an investment pretty easily. They can say, I can buy this house for, $135,000. I can put, $105,000 in it. I'm all in for $240,000. I can sell it for $320,000. They can calculate what that spread is. What they have a tougher time calculating is what's the risk in terms of the numbers that they're using. Are they stretching it all on that ARV? Are they stretching it all on that rehab number? Are they stretching it all on their holding cost, etc.? Where are they calculating a risk factor for the amount of return? So it's easy to calculate the return rate. Mm-hmm. It's harder to calculate the risk factor. Second thing I'd say is, what's the cost of education? I used to be involved in the nutrition supplement business, and people used to ask me all the time, well, how much are those vitamins that you take? How much do they cost? And my answer, I wasn't trying to be a smart aleck, but my answer was, you mean if you take them or if you don't? Because, there's a cost for investing in your health. I mean, you take really good care of yourself. You go to the gym, you eat right, you're exercising, those kind of things. There's a cost for doing that. You have to pay the trainer. You have to, because I know you're a CrossFit guy, right? You got to pay for your CrossFit membership. You got to pay with your time. But what's the cost of not doing all that?
Right.
So most people, they go, oh, well, how much does it cost to do that? You mean if you do it or if you don't? Because there's a cost either way, right? And oftentimes, I mean, what's the cost of heart disease and diabetes and, having a stroke and those kind of things? I mean, most people just look at what's the out-of-pocket upfront cost. There's a cost for doing it, a cost for not doing it. And a lot of people don't know how to weigh which is more expensive. It's
like when you hire your first assistant, you always worry about what the price is.
Oh, yeah.
But you know something? 1 + 1 can equals 3.
Yes. Well, in fact, that's when Jason and I got started. I mean, we talk about synergy all the time. Jason and I bought 7 houses in that first 5 months that we got started. From July until December, we bought 7. But the next year, we bought 67. So when I go back and think about that, I probably could have done 3 or 4 houses that first 5 or 6 months, and he probably could have done 3 or 4 houses. So we really weren't. But to do, how many? To do 67 that next year by myself, I mean, to do 35 houses, nobody does that.
Well, I remember when I first met y'all told me that y'all were going to do about 50 or 60 houses, and it's just, I hear that story so many times when I talk to new investors, and sure enough, I mean, week 2, you're already sitting there blowing and going, so y'all really made something that, synergy. I mean, it's just it's a beautiful thing. So it's just I would tell the investors listening that, quite frankly, align yourself up with the Right Path. Align yourself up with a network.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to give out your contact information. So it's Patten Law Firm, PLFPC.com, PLFPC.com, 713-621-5808, 713-621-5808. That's where we get all of our deals done. That's where we get our title work done. That's where we get our deals closed. I think we did 3 closings with you guys this week. So
That's awesome. Yes.
So great. Thanks for coming in, man.
Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, bye-bye.
Nikki? All right, there.
Mike's off.
Nikki, are you all right? Nikki, were you snoozing?
Are you looking for
Nikki,
an
Nikki?
investor-friendly
Nikki?
contractor for
I can't
your
hear you.
investment
I don't know what
property?
she's doing.
Then call
Anyhow.
Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of
Hey, Tom.
single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success.
Hey, Tom.
Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Investor loans offering up to 100% financing are still available. You just have to know where to look. Look no further than Noble Mortgage. Noble Mortgage is a full-service mortgage company that's been helping investors since 2003. Noble Mortgage offers up to 100% financing to investors that covers purchase, repairs, and closing costs. In addition to private money, Noble Mortgage offers conventional loans, FHA, and even no-income documentation loans for both residential and commercial properties. Call and ask about our 5-point guarantee, which includes free pre-qualifications within 2 business days. Call 713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com. Our team has over 50 years experience in the mortgage industry. Call us today, 713-680-8100, or visit us on the web, noblemoney.com, noblemoney.com.
NMLS 2921.
Nikki?
Yeah.
So who are you training?
I'm training Harrison and
Oh.
Val, but Val's not in here, but Harrison.
Okay.
He's going to be with you on Friday.
Okay, cool.
If your insurance company is
And
slow or
Jeremy's on
non-responsive,
hold.
Excellent.
the deal
How much time do I have left?
that. You need a quick turnaround on
Hold on one
quotes
second.
or binders. The agency for that is Benchmark.
A little less than
Insurance
2
in
minutes.
Texas. The team at Benchmark understands.
Yeah, Michael, that's great. The cost of opportunity or the cost of opportunity lost. Yes, that's
Are
true.
you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time and money. Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years, and we insure over 30,000 properties. Contact Benchmark about our exclusive investor package. Call us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com. That's benchmarkbroker.com. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart? Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400 evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary pier work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer. Remember to check before every repair.
All right, 13 seconds.
13 seconds.
Yes.
That's 346-702-3825, or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com. That's foundationcheck.com.
This is Business 1110. Call Tom at 713-785-1817 and look for us on Facebook Live at facebook.com/RightPathRealEstate.
Hot mics.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817, 713-785-1817. I'm joined live via the hotline, Jeremy Humphreys, Principal Inspections. What's up, my man?
Good morning, Tom. How are you doing?
Doing great, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Great. So, what part of the world are you in today?
I am in Crockett, Texas. I'm sorry, not Crockett. A small town near San Marcos at our family farm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We should have been doing the show from there.
You should. That's why I'm doing it from here.
That's exactly right.
I was at the deer stand this morning.
Oh, man. Did you get anything?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still early in the season, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So tell me, Principal Inspections, tell me about y'all's specialty.
Well, our specialty is definitely investors. That's what we do. We do inspections that are focused for investors only, and they're tailored for that same reason. I can't get my words out right this morning. But anyway, we keep our prices low, and we do very detail-oriented reports in some areas, and then let me just explain. Roofs, foundations, air conditioners, big-ticket items like that, we do very, very detailed inspections, but then we know that investors are also looking to do a lot of repairs on the homes and new flooring and new paint and all that kind of stuff, and so we don't cloud the report with a lot of unnecessary detail.
Yeah, because a typical retail inspector, they're going to go through, it's my understanding, I've never been an inspector, I've looked into the educational part of it, but it's 17 major household systems that an inspector is supposed to look at what's up to code, what's not up to code. Everything from looking at, are the appliances working, to, I mean, there's a long list of the items, right? And so... And like the hot water heater, for example, and other things like that. And you may go in and as an investor say, I'm planning on replacing the hot water heater anyway. There's no reason to even take a look at it because I already know even if it's working, I'm replacing it, right?
Right.
And so
we do have to follow the TREC standard when we're doing full inspections. So we do have to look at those things and report them. But you'll find that if you read different inspection reports, some are tailored for retail, some are tailored for investors, and some are somewhere in between. But some of them will have pages and pages of the whole history of water heaters, for example.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's a lot of boilerplate information. What I say.
Yeah, and we take it from the standpoint of, hey, I'm in the information business. I want to provide that to customers, and I want it to be accessible. So essentially, it's, hey, the water heater is working or the air conditioner is working, and here's the temperature differential, and here's one thing that needs to be repaired on it. But it's not 4 pages of information on just one air conditioner.
Yeah, it's amazing how many of those
accessible information.
Yeah, they have those, like what I call them, boilerplate kind of reports where they have a lot of pictures of showing, explaining in a pictorial diagram. So you have 2 or 3 pages of stuff that really it's not related to your property. It's general educational information. And in my opinion, it's what justifies, the $500 for the retail report, right? And but it's, you get this 55-page report back, and it scares the snot out of a lot of retail buyers, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, in fact,
it scares investors.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, the timing on that was perfect because it scared. I remember when I first got started as a general contractor, and I would go out and walk a property. At first, they'd say, "Hey, the inspector's going to be there at 10 o'clock on Tuesday. Need you to be there." And when I found out I'd start showing up at 10 o'clock on Tuesday for that appointment, and then somewhere about an hour and a half into the inspection, I'm about wrapped up walking mine, giving them the bid and all that. And the inspector says, "Hey, you may not be aware of, this major issue." And they go, "Oh man, and the investor was there, and they go, "Oh, really? Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting that." Well, that pretty much kills the deal. Sorry, Tom. Sorry you had to come out. And then I realized that, I did never want to go out and walk a house as a contractor until it had passed the inspection phase. because an inspector normally needs to go in on for a new investor before a contractor does. So, in fact, we actually kind of developed a policy that if the report from the inspector was not already back in your hands and it was still a deal, then we didn't want to go out. So, because I'd say about 40% of the deals would die at the inspection phase. Only 60% passed through the inspection phase where they were bought deep enough. Have you found that to be about the same?
Well, I would like to say that my percentage is lower than that. I don't think that we kill that many deals, but that's not to say that we don't, because, again, we're not in – I certainly, as an inspector and my whole team, we're not in the business of killing deals.
Absolutely not. Right. Right.
But we are in the business of providing fair third-party information. So,
yeah, I would absolutely agree with that.
It's unbiased, but I would think that it's more like 25% that they walk away from after the inspection.
Well, I want to give out Jeremy's contact information. It's principalinspections.com. That's PRINCIPLE inspections.com. Principalinspections.com. Phone number is 832-684-5516. That's 832-684-5516. I think any investor that's starting out brand new, one of the areas that there's a process of being successful as a real estate investor. The first thing you have to do is you have to find the deal, right? And then the second thing you have to do is be able to analyze the deal. And part of the analysis of the deal is you've got to be able to accurately determine your comps. Next-gen appraisals can help with that. Second thing is you have to actually determine your repair number. Now, contrary to popular belief, it's not generally the contractor's job to create the scope of work all by themselves. What you want to do is you want to be able to have an inspector that can show all the major systems that are broken, need replacing or repair, and then once you have the list of the major systems, then you can go to the contractor and say, because contractors don't typically determine whether or not something's working or not. What they do is if you say, hey, I want to replace the air conditioner, then they replace the air conditioner. If you say, hey, I want to replace the hot water heater, they say, I want, this is how much it costs to do that. Just like inspectors, oftentimes, now I know you're different because you're an investor also, but it's amazing to me how many inspectors don't know how much it costs to replace a hot water heater, or how much it costs to replace an air conditioning system, things like that. That's not in their scope. So hand in hand, if you're a brand new investor, you need to be able to have an inspector that you trust, and you need to be able to have an appraiser that you trust, and you need to have a contractor that you trust. And I think being part of Right Path, that's you get that team. We've got Principal Inspections. You can trust them right off the bat. They only do investor inspections. I think that's huge. Anytime that you get people that specialize, like going to the doctor, if you don't want to take your 9-year-old child to a neurosurgeon when all they have is a cough, cold, sore throat, or flu, you take them to the pediatrician. But by the same token, if you've got a brain tumor, you don't want to go to the pediatrician. You want to go to the specialist that specializes in that particular thing. I love anytime you have a trade that specializes either retail or investor. Now, because I'm an investor, I love investor-friendly contractors, and I love investor-friendly, appraisers and investor-friendly inspectors, and you're the best in the marketplace. Principalinspections.com. That's principalinspections.com. 832-684-5516. 832-684-5516. Now, I want to go back to Harvey. So, based on Harvey, what are you seeing? Because I'm sure that you're seeing a lot of inspections based on Harvey flooded houses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so what are you seeing or some of the surprises? Are you seeing any surprises on things that need to be done that wouldn't be in a typical non-flooded house?
To be honest, not really. There's the obvious answer, drywall and, all of that stuff.
Right.
No, there has not been a whole lot of other things. I would say the only thing is that air conditioners have to be very carefully evaluated.
Yeah, like the condensers especially, right? Whatever was exposed outside, or if you have like a one-story house where you had the condenser coils or the heater, excuse me, not the condenser, the coils and the furnace or the heater was in a closet, like a vertical type unit, right?
2 minutes.
Yeah. And so
aside from that, and that's going to be contingent on whether the power is on for the inspection or not, there's not a whole lot that we've seen that's just crazy different after Harvey,
You know,
even in the flooded.
one of the big mistakes that I see a
I
lot.
like it better because we can see.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you don't have to wonder what's going on behind the walls, right?
See the pipes, all that stuff is just exposed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you see all the horizontals.
One thing that is shocking, actually, is how many homes have or have had termites that termite inspectors and no one else can see. Like the termites just get in there. They don't leave any trace of evidence outside the house or inside the drywall until it floods and you pull that drywall off. That's probably the most surprising thing.
Yeah.
It is insane how many houses have termites.
What percentage would you say that is of the houses that you've been seeing?
I would say 25%.
Wow.
It's a ton.
And what would you...
Again, that's older houses.
Right, of course. And what would you have anticipated before the flood? What would you have... 10%, something like that, had termite damage?
I would say significantly lower.
So it's more than double what you would have expected. And that's good, because, here's the thing, especially when it's opened up like that, it's really, really relatively inexpensive to fix. I mean, because you're just basically replacing some 2x4s, and structurally you're improving the quality of the house. And then you can treat those areas. So, all right, you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, principalinspections.com. That's principal, P-R-I-N-C-I-P-L-E, inspections.com, 832-684-5516. On the other side of the break, I'm going to be joined with Jerry Ta with Property Care. So, thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Tom. Talk to you later.
Thanks, bye-bye.
Mike's off.
All right. Let me get Jerry Ta in here. We'll do a mic check real quick.
As a real estate investor, you rely on your property inspector to determine the current condition of the home and your potential.
Hey, Aaron Davis, how are you?
Principal Inspections was founded by investor Jeremy Humphrey to do just that. Working from the investor's point of view, Principal Inspections will give you turnkey inspections that are high quality, affordable, and focused on information pertinent to investors while not clouding the report with unnecessary details. Founder Jeremy Humphrey comes from a family of real estate investors. He started Principal Inspections for investors because as an investor himself, he experienced the need for fast, quality inspections with information directly pertaining to property condition and potential resale value. Principal Inspections will save you time and money. Call Principal Inspections, 832-684-5516. That's 832-684-5516. Or go online to principalinspections.com. That's principalinspections.com. License number 21264.
Are small returns getting in the way of your retirement plans? Why settle for mediocre results?
All right, ready for a mic check for Jerry?
The experts agree.
Yes. Hi, Jerry.
Hey, Nikki, how are you doing?
I'm good. Jerry's going to have to go up a little bit.
Check in 1 2 3. Checking 1 2 3.
A little bit more.
Call us today at 281-915.
Checking 1 2 3. Checking 1 2 3.
We're good.
jbfundservices.com.
You get one of those low Barry White kind of voices.
I think it's my morning voice.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, like I think as the day goes on, my voice gets a little bit better and louder. But now it's just, I don't know, there's like a scratchiness to it.
Senior loan officer with Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Our goal is to give our borrowers and referral partners an amazing
I wake up
experience
early,
during
but
the
nothing
loan
else
process.
functions
My team believes
correctly.
putting
Like I can't work out in the morning because my
No?
whole body is just
Our company
so tight and
on
stuff.
building
I went and worked out
routines
yesterday
to
morning. The
offer
first time I've worked
structure,
out, done a morning
process,
workout in a while,
recognition
and
for the extra mile
not
for
super
you.
early, but it was like
This way, we
8:30.
have the
And
energy to
I have
make
to
this
say,
your
man, I
best
had
home
so much
purchase
energy
ever.
during the
Give us a call
workout,
today
not
to
like when I
find
go
out
work
the
out in the
simple steps
evening
to
or
get started.
Yeah.
it was
Jennifer
awesome.
Hernandez, the Hernandez team at Legacy Mutual
Like
Mortgage.
one of my friends, they do this workout. They do like intermittent fasting. They lost all this weight.
Oh,
but
yeah?
You work out real hard in the morning and don't eat or drink anything.
Yeah.
For a good hour, and your body just
it goes into
burns.
fat burning mode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been studying that.
Not that you need to lose any weight or anything, but have you ever considered it?
I would like to drop body fat. That's,
Okay.
I mean, I don't have a ton on me, but I would like to get
As a percentage.
as a percentage, right?
your weight.
Yeah, I'm not. I want my weight to stay the same, but yeah. So yeah, people used to tell me, "Oh, Tom, I lost 10 pounds." I go, 10 pounds of what? And they never really thought about that. That you don't want to lose 10 pounds of muscle. You don't want to lose, and oftentimes dieting, that's what you're losing. Is you're losing
muscle.
Yeah, your body converts the glycogen in your muscle to. Anyhow, enough about that. We're going to talk about investing.
There are over $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S.
Imagine if you could use someone's IRA to fund all
$24
of your
trillion.
deals. Well, you can.
What in
Quest
retirement
IRA
accounts?
is
What
based
Quest IRA
locally
says?
here in
24
Houston,
trillion.
Texas.
Not with them.
Quest
In
No,
total.
no, right. In total.
offer
Yeah.
retirement
That's a lot in
accounts
retirement
that can be
accounts.
used to invest in real estate,
I don't know that
Yeah.
there's $24 trillion worth of good assets to own. That's part of the problem, right?
Well, what's good though? That's that's the thing.
I think that's probably
We don't sell any
there's
investments
more
or
places for
guys.
money to go
However,
than there
we do
are
hold free networking
more
events,
more
weekly
places
educational classes,
more money than
and
there are
free
places for money to go.
consultations
That's
with
what
an
I'm
IRA
saying.
specialist. For more information, visit our website at questira.com or call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs to tap into the $24
Anything in particular you want to talk about?
in retirement accounts.
Talk about
in the
property
US.
management?
Call
Sure.
If we talk about that?
IRA
Yeah, we can talk about property management.
That'd be swell.
Fun IRAs or go to our website questira.com.
This is Business 1110.
Call Tom at 713-785-1817 and look for us on Facebook Live at facebook.com/.
It's been pretty quiet.
Hot mics, guys.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. I'm joined live in the studio with Jerry Ta. He's with Property Care. That's propertycarehouston.com, 713-489-7653. If you want to call in and ask any questions, it's 713-785-1817. Welcome to the show, Jerry.
Good to be here.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing well. So I know Harvey's still on the minds, will be for the next probably 2 years. We see some incredible buying opportunities, especially in the buy and hold space.
Yep.
Seeing properties that are, we've always recommended in the Houston marketplace, houses that are like 3.2s or 4.2s, maybe 4 2.5s that are, 2,100 square foot and smaller. We like 1,400 square foot houses a lot. But houses below about 150,000 ARV that rent for $1,600, $1,700, $1,800 a month. Because as you get more expensive than that, then the amount of money that you're paying versus the rent, you can't get a 1% rule. And so when I talk about that, so the 1% rule is that if you have let's say $150,000 house, 1% of that's $1,500.
Right.
So you want to exceed 1% of the ARV, the after repair value of the house in rent on a monthly basis. Then you've got a typically a good cash flow because where your PITI is going to be cost of money, principal, interest, taxes, insurance, all of that, you're going to cash flow the best, right?
Right.
And as you move up into like a $400,000 house, it's probably going to cost you $3,200 to $3,500 a month in payments, but you don't get $4,000 a month in rent. There's a different supply and demand curve on that.
Even at $2,000, you're not getting
Correct.
$2,000 in rent. Here's a question for you in regards to Harvey, since you were bringing it up. So I walked the house with an investor recently, and we walked into the house, so it was flooded. And I've seen a lot of houses that got flooded. Most of them, sheetrock's been knocked out. It's been drying up. This one we walked in, everything's still there.
All the sheetrock's still there, everything?
Almost all sheetrock's still there, furniture's still there.
Oh, wow.
What do you think is the repair difference between one that's been completely cleaned out versus we saw walls, mold growing up on it.
How high was the mold?
About my height, so about 5'8", 6 feet tall.
Yeah. And so any idea how much water it had in it?
I would say about 3 feet.
Okay. So, from a safety standpoint, you're going to have to hire a crew. You should hire a crew. Not everybody would do it this way, but the way I would do it is I would want to make sure that the crew had eye protection, lung protection, things like that, gloves, that they were suited up. It's not like asbestos or anything like that, but from that standpoint, the problem is that we really don't know how much is too much of mold or mildew to inhale because there is no standard that says this is safe and this is unsafe.
Yeah.
There's no standard. So the standard in terms of testing is that you have to have less mold inside the house when you do an air quality check than outside because there's always mold just outside. You and I walk outside, we're breathing mold. I mean, it's in the air. And in fact, it's amazing because I've been riding a motorcycle a little bit, not a ton, but you go through a neighborhood that's been flooded and you smell it outside. There's mold, just in the outside air. So I would say you're going to have a little bit more expensive demo because most of the time the crews aren't going to go to the expense of buying all the equipment. I mean, because even those, it's not a lot of money, but they just don't go to Home Depot and buy the mask and buy the glasses and do all those kind of things. And so I would want that. Then it's a matter of throwing all that stuff away because once the mold's out of the house and you bring a dehumidifier in, then from a liability standpoint, the right way to do it is you hire a mold remediation plan writer. It's a company that does the inspection and all that, and that company has to write the plan of what gets done, and a second company has to execute the plan.
Okay.
And so if you do that, there's some debate about whether or not you would demo before you bring in one of those plan companies. The technical right way to do it is that's what you should do.
What is the ballpark cost? I'm not going to hold you to it, but just
the tough thing about that is that it used to be, in my opinion, more expensive than before Harvey. Because if you had a mold house, there were a limited number of companies that were certified to get to do those kind of plans. But now, more companies have gotten certified, and it's driven the prices down, oddly enough.
Right.
And, in fact, we've got one of our one-on-one students that they bought a house in Sugar Creek, and they got it for like 55 cents on the dollar minus the cost of repairs.
Right.
For a Sugar Creek house, if you know anything about that neighborhood.
Yeah.
But
golf
it's
course neighborhood and everything.
Yeah, it's a house, had a hole in the roof, did not flood during Harvey, but it had a hole in the roof and had been shut up for like 6 or 8 years for mold to just, there was moisture in there and just mold started growing. And so they've done that. And it was a couple $1,000 for the company that wrote the plan, and it was $10,000 or $12,000 for a fully certified to do everything correctly in terms of removing it. So, and they had more than budgeted that. I think it was about $10,000 all total in terms of extra expense.
Right.
So, that's probably what you're looking at on some of these houses. Here's what I see is going to end up happening, because I know that oftentimes properties like that are going to end up being underwater, no pun intended, on the mortgage, right? So a lot of families are going to be walking away from these houses, and I don't think that the banks are going to start foreclosing. Because I don't think that a Chase Mortgage or a Wells Fargo or a bank, Bank of America, those kind of the big banks are going to want to own that asset because of the liability. And, if you really understand where the liability lies is that you've got to disclose to every single person that goes in. And it's not just like putting a super box on the door and calling CSS and letting them, centralized showing service and letting centralized showing show the house. In fact, that was one of the reasons why, these coaching students of ours got such a great deal on it, is that it was, although it was listed with an agent, it was really kind of a pocket listing still. And the agent and her broker were really struggling with, from a legal standpoint, how do we manage putting this property on HAR as a listing? So they hadn't put it on HAR yet.
Right.
And they were really worried about the fact that, they were going to have to be there every single time that someone accessed the property and provide them with the proper protection, and then have a full, they were in the process of having their attorney draw up the legal
waiver.
Yeah, the waiver, the release to just, and it's like, can you imagine that, what a nightmare that is? And, and does that still absolve you from liability, of exposure in this house? I mean, are you really, telling them everything because we don't really know what the true underlying liability is. And so,
towards, I think, I want to say 2012 or 2013, when, kind of the foreclosure was kind of dying down, but we saw banks hire asset managers.
Yes.
And instead of selling them just straight, messed up foreclosures, they were putting new carpet and paint.
Yes.
You don't see that happening in this scenario?
I don't, only because I don't think that, because when they did that post foreclosure, right? And there's a difference in liability with Texas law between being the lender, being the first lien holder, and being the owner. Because that technically the lien holder is not responsible for the insurance. They're not responsible for, now they oftentimes want to maintain insurance because they want to protect the asset, but they're not required to pay HOAs. They're not required to do a lot of things that the owner of the property is. And from a liability standpoint, if somebody gets hurt and you're the lender, you're not liable for that. You can't be sued. But if you are the owner of the property, then you take on a lot of liability. So actually, I think what they're going to do is they're going to keep the person on the deed that has defaulted on the mortgage. And it's either going to be short sales, or I think that they're going to unload these as non-performing notes in a tape to some big asset manager or something like that. And I think there's going to be somebody that steps in like that. And I don't know if it's going to be 50-50, is it going to be 80-20. I don't know if it's going to be more short sales. I look at logistically how how many man hours it takes to do a short sale times if there's 10,000 properties like that, 20,000, 30,000, or do they just sell off 30,000 properties or in 10,000 non-performing note units at a time to big hedge funds and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out
soon enough.
So back to property management.
Yeah.
I want to propertycarehouston.com. That's propertycarehouston.com. 713-489-7653. 713-489-7653. So what are you seeing happening to rents? Are rents changing at all as a result of Harvey? Because, there's a supply and demand. A lot of people are saying there's more people that are needing a place to rent. The end of this month, a lot of people, I don't think folks in Houston realize how many people are living in hotels still that are being paid for by FEMA, that folks aren't back in their house yet.
I think we got that big rush right at September. And like I said, at that point, we leased out all our units.
Right.
Anything that was worth leasing out back in September. And we get inquiries here and there in regards to, hey, someone, their FEMA vouchers running up. But from what we had seen, FEMA vouchers had ended up, for the most part, the end of September or a month later after
That's what I'd heard as well. However, like we just did an event at the hotel this past weekend, and there are still people there. So apparently where they said that FEMA vouchers were going to end in September, they've been pushed till October, and now what I understand is the end of November is really the true final date for FEMA vouchers.
And I guess we'll find out, it's one of those things when something's free to you.
Yeah, right.
You milk that thing as long as you can.
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So propertycarehouston.com, propertycarehouston.com, 713-489-7653, 713-489-7653. So I know y'all do flat rate billing on property management, right?
That's
Can
correct.
I give out the amount?
Yes, it's a $85 flat fee.
Okay, so what if it's an 1,100 square foot house and it's like $1,300 a month? How much do you charge?
It's $85.
So what if it's like $1 million house and it's like $5,000 a month rent?
It's $85.
So any chance I can talk you down on that? I'm just playing with it. $85 a month, that's a steal. I mean, why would you, isn't your time, having your time back worth $85 a month? Why would you do it yourself?
I think a lot of people agree with us.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, thanks for listening. You've been joined live in the studio with Jerry Tye. He's the owner of Property Care. It's propertycarehouston.com, 713-489-7653. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Go, man.
Mike's off.
All right, thanks.
Are small returns getting in the way of your retirement plans? Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree. Single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Find out how JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today at 281-915-0906 or visit our website, jbfundservices.com. That's 281-915-0906. This investment is offered to accredited investors.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties, whether it's a flip, rehab, or a rental rehab. No more managing it yourself. No more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992.
Real estate investors, if you're not familiar with Quest IRA, let me tell you what you're missing. We've got free weekly educational classes, networking opportunities, and the ability to tap into trillions of dollars for your real estate investing deals. Come by our office or join us remotely as we simulcast all of our educational classes every Tuesday morning and evening. For more information, call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or visit our website at questira.com.
Selecting a foundation company and their product for repair is a lot like a game of chance. You simply don't know what you're going to get. The foundation repair industry as a whole doesn't carry a license, nor is it regulated. However, Foundation Check utilizes professional engineers to review all of our files to give you the best foundation analysis in today's market. Remember to check before every repair. Call 346-702-3825 or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com. com.
2 minutes, guys.
Hi, Clint Coons here, attorney and avid real estate investor. You know the greatest mistake real estate investors make is not understanding the potential liability that exists from owning real estate. At Anderson Business, Legal, and Tax Advisors, we specialize in protecting real estate investors in all 50 states. In addition to structuring your business for optimum protection, we provide guidance so you pay the least amount of taxes available under the law. We have 150 employees that range from lawyers to CPAs to estate planners and much more. Download our free ebook, The Invisible Investor Strategy, today at AndersonAdvisors.com or call for a free risk reduction analysis and financial blueprint at 800-706-4741. Anderson Business Advisors will help you keep more of what you earn. Call us today at 800-706-4741 and mention Right Path Real Estate.
1 minute, guys.
Rehab loans, conventional loans,
How much time?
FHA, and no income
1
documentation
minute.
loans can
All
seem
right.
scary unless you have the right mortgage company to guide you through the process. Since 2003, Noble Mortgage has been helping investors just like you. Whether rehabbing houses, buying your first home, rental, or commercial property, Noble Mortgage offers up to 100% financing. Call Noble Mortgage at 713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com.
30 seconds.
You've
All right.
never inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
This is Business 1110.
Call Tom at 713-785-1817 and look for us on Facebook Live at facebook.com/rightpathrealestate.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. Want to tell you about a couple of events because there's probably quite a few of you out there that are listening that want to know how do you find deals, how do you fund the deals, how do you analyze the deals, how do you fix the deals, how do you sell the deals. We're going to have a webinar today. It's free to attend. It's at 7 o'clock this evening. All you need to do is go to rightpathrealestate.com, register for the event for free. Just click on the Register Here button. That's rightpathrealestate.com. Go to Register Here and be able to register. That's today, November the 21st at 7 p.m. We're going to be talking about the intro to income and wealth in real estate. Then on the 30th of this month, we're going to teach you how to talk to sellers after Harvey. And then our next Pathway to Income and Wealth, where we talk about the 8 different modules you need to learn in order to be successful in real estate investing. There's only 8 different things you need to know. If you can execute those, who can't do 8 different things? A lot of people say, well, there's 97 different ways to buy a house in Houston. Well, no, there's not. We actually only have one way that we buy a house. Now, there's a system and process to how we find the deals, how we analyze the deal, how we fund the deals, how we fix the deals, how we sell the deals. We teach those systems and processes in our Pathway to Income and Wealth workshop. The next one of those is going to be Friday, December the 15th through Sunday, December the 17th. That's going to be 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's well worth, it's a bargain. Go to the website, rightpathrealestate.com. You can register for that event. But first thing you want to do is you want to get to the webinar today, 7 p.m. You want to make sure that you don't miss out on the insider information that we're going to be sharing. If you're not currently an active real estate investor, you want to be an active real estate investor, wouldn't you want to learn from people that have bought, fixed, and flipped over 450 houses in the Houston marketplace? That's what we've done since July of 2013. It's not a 20-year history that we've been doing this. Jason and I got started with Houston House Buyers in July of 2013. In July, August, September, October, November, December, we bought 7 houses. And then we bought 67 houses in 2014. We bought 90 houses in 2015. We kept growing. We've bought over 450 houses since July of 2013. Isn't that who you'd want to learn how to do it from? We've spent almost $4 million in marketing. You don't have to spend $4 million in marketing to learn what we've learned from marketing. Sometimes it's better to stand on the shoulders of the people that have gone before you and get the kind of success that you're looking to achieve. You know, I've gotten a little bit older, past the age of 50. When I was younger, I wanted to figure out everything myself. There was always that story about, the man that started the company or started working for the company. He started sweeping the floors, and he worked up to, cleaning the bathrooms, and he worked up to, being a sales guy, and then an apprentice, and then, next thing you know, he's the CEO of the company. What I recognize today is things move a lot faster in the age of technology. So what you want to do is you want to stand on the shoulders of other people. You can learn through the school of hard knocks, or you can have other people invest in you in terms of teaching you how to be successful. So go to rightpathrealestate.com. That's rightpathrealestate.com, and learn how to add real estate investing to your investing portfolio. Do it the right way.
8, 7.
Thanks for listening, guys. See you tomorrow.
Mike's off.
Thanks.
See you later, guys.
You've been listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio.